What's up, you guys? This is Steffi, aka In My Humble Opinion, and welcome back to another Fan Reaction Friday video. In today's video, I'm watching Season 1, Episode 9 of I May Destroy You. The episode is entitled, Social Media is a Great Way to Connect. So let's get right into this episode. Oh my gosh, wow. All these different men.
Oh, hey. Alright.
Oh, I like her roommate. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, just tired. Yeah, you alright? Yeah, good.
I like him!
Happy Halloween.
Oh, it's Halloween. Hashtag IHSWG. What does that hashtag mean? Okay, maybe I'm just like really slow. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Or one of you will put it in the comments section. I hate...
Blood pressure results, however.
Sorry, one sec. As you know, you can't give peas unless you have peas.
The fact that she's like literally doing this in the middle of this meeting, like...
Oh, hey, Snuggle Bunnies. It's me, actor Real Terry Pratchard. Be good to those who love me, because those who love you are good to you.
That was a message for herself.
The blood pressure.
Oh. The higher the blood pressure, the bigger the knock-on effects on the kidneys, which are already at an elevated risk due to your being of Afro-Caribbean origin.
Oh, wow.
That was racial ignorance. I'm not Afro-Caribbean, I'm actually African.
I'm sorry, it's just the term used on the report.
Who makes the fool? Is that the extent of your diagnosis? Hello, Arabella, you're Caribbean and I don't know.
Oh, that was awkward.
Do you agree that vaping is better than smoking?
Well, yes,
Then
but-
that's all we need to say about it.
But if there's a predisposition to kidney problems, then it's better just to get rid of the vape completely.
And other stressed people asking her to defend them and expose rapists, abusers, and pedos, and she does this day and night via phone screen. Stressful, do you confirm?
Oh my gosh, wow, she is like really into her social media life.
The phone will kill her faster than any puff of nicotine ever will.
Yeah, Arabella needs to watch her social media use, trying to be a warrior for every single person's battle.
You'd think that they'd stock up on these things given it's Halloween.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. So now we have to battle it out. Can I state my case first?
I don't know how you feel about this, Bells. I'm actually happy and indeed willing to let you wear the halos.
Guys, are you sure?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That was easy.
What you're doing for rape victims, go. Whoa.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was abused by a straight white male as a child. Spoke out for the first time
Whoa.
with you. It's not easy. As a man, as a black man, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, has Kwame still not told her what happened to him?
Thank you so much for reminding me of all the pain and frustration. That's all I can think about. Oh, it's my pleasure. Make sure you tell your friends to follow me and make me more powerful. Of course, you wish.
This echo chamber's freezing.
I'm cold.
You never know, Quams. You might be feeling a bit down one day and you just might need someone who agrees with whatever the fuck you say. Even if you are chatting shit.
Damn. The echo chamber is freaking real. Kwame had a point there. Wow, she's really feeling herself and her social media. I mean, like, I get it because what she's doing and what she stands for and what she's talking about and advocating for, like, those are really, like, great things. But at the same time, she kind of feeds into it. Like, she gets off on that attention, not gonna lie.
We said no phones?
This is like a cool little Halloween party.
Bella.
Back to the phone.
Hey bunnies, thought I'd let you know about the POC, Paint and Wine movement. I believe we have the right to express ourselves.
Oh my god, that must be so fucking annoying to be friends with someone like that.
The POC Paint and Wine movement
Is it even a movement?
I don't know why she keeps saying it. Wine, self-care, friendship,
Self-care.
my babe, I'm the real Terry Pratchard.
Actor Angel Cuddlebug Snugglebug.
Well, Terry's getting some clout from this.
I hate it when white girls disappoint me.
She said some homophobic stuff as well.
What?
Yeah, she said the F word.
People think they can chat shit and get away with it.
Oh my god, is she gonna get on social media again?
I hope you pulled your dick out.
It's afterwards, actually.
Oh, okay, so she didn't know you were... She didn't know you were gay till after?
Here we go. It's kind of what we were talking about in the previous video.
You kind of had penetrative sex with someone under false pretenses, Qualms. That's a bit... I don't know.
Saying I feel shit. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, things are getting a little intense.
I just think that it was really confusing for everyone.
Terry, as someone who has not experienced rape, you should be listening and not concluding.
Seriously, no, she literally pushed me into
No. It sounds like you're blaming her. Are you blaming her?
Wow.
Do we make deceitful, destructive, narcissistic, sick, inconsiderate mistakes?
No. So on my birthday, when you locked him in the room with Jamal,
Here we go.
what was that?
What did I do?
Samson's friends.
See, okay, here we go. This is my thing. I feel like Arabella, she always makes really valid arguments, and she brings up really valid points, and she brings up great points, important points, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, like, I would honestly be exhausted being friends with someone like Arabella, because it's like, the feeling I get from her is she feels like she can do no wrong, and it kind of feels like she's virtue signaling, like, all the time, and she's so quick to point and chastise someone when they did something wrong. And yes, what Kwame did was wrong, but at the same time, like, the situation's, like, really, really complicated. And then again, she doesn't really know what Kwame went through. But Arabella, you are not a perfect person either, yet here she is acting as if she's done nothing wrong. As great as it is to have a friend that is so quick to call something out when it's wrong, I don't know, I feel like it would kind of be exhausting to a certain extent to always be with someone like that who is so quick to pounce and jump, especially when they're vocal on social media and they have a huge social media presence. And I just feel like Kwame right now needs Arabella's support as a friend, and she's not giving him the support that she needs. I think there's a way that you can call out something being wrong, but then at the same time still be emotionally there for your friend, because clearly he says he understands that he made a mistake. And even if I didn't know what exactly happened to Kwame, just like based on how he's behaving, like I could tell like, oh, there's something he's not telling me. But I think Arabella's just so far up her own ass right now that she can't even see that.
Where is this going?
You left Kwame in there without really thinking about the consequences.
Oh my god, poor Terry trying to like
It was a dangerous
walk this situation.
Kwame? Wow, he's here. So I guess that means you don't need to speak for him. Pink things to make it look like you're a victim, and I find out that isn't entirely the case. Makes me question who you are.
Oof.
And just look in the mirror, you know what I mean? Because it's really unnerving and it's uncomfortable for everyone.
Honestly, I kind of feel bad for Terry. She's kind of caught in the middle here because she's trying to stick up for Kwame, but then at the same time not spill Kwame's secrets because that's not her thing to tell, which good job, Terry. Good for you for knowing that that's not your thing to tell, but I don't know.
Take a quick picture of you. Just like here.
What's happening? Oh my goodness. Girl.
Hey, sugar, thank your homes and everything.
It's really amazing that you think your opinion should just be heard.
Oh man.
Shouldn't be scared that as I walk this street right now, at any moment, a man could drag me into a dark alley and attack me. Fuck this shit. Fuck.
Wow, all the social media stuff here in this episode.
Thank you. I came across it this morning. Toxic. Any of you guys heard of it?
The thing that's like so hard for her too is like clearly you can tell like she feels isolated within her own friendships and relationships that she has. Like, I mean, that thing she had with Biagio, like that's kaput. And she feels on the outside of her friendship with Kwame and Terry. So in reality, she feels very alone and isolated, but at the same time, she's getting on social media here. And I feel like by her doing that, that's kind of like her way of feeling like connected to something, to people, when she gets like validated by that, the more comments and likes she gets. I don't know, it's just like a really like toxic cycle here. Oh, it's so interesting how they're showing social media. I always get interested in how shows do that.
You seem very upset.
Oh, this is her therapist.
DM after DM after DM after DM. There is so much injustice. My job is to speak the truth. I have to speak the truth, no matter who to. I can't be complicit.
She holds herself to a very high standard.
Business models of these networks incentivize us to behave in certain ways, in ways that promote speaking, often at the cost of listening.
Preach, girl.
We take breaks. We don't work weekends. We break for half term. Even a cantor has a sabbatical. And it's good for our mental health.
Log off. Lose that Wi-Fi password.
I told my staff the investigation back. Does that mean everything and nothing is normal?
I'm so happy she has this therapist.
You have an idea of self, let's say A, and then there's a line. Anything that contradicts or threatens your perceived reality.
They could be one and the same. Wow, that was really dramatic. She could have just like, you know, just deactivated. But maybe she needed that hard, cold turkey break.
How many weeks was I? Don't remember.
Oh my gosh. What?
10 weeks.
What?
Just went and done it, and then I forgot.
Whoa. Oh my god. Wow, she has gone through a lot.
Doing what we have to do doesn't always feel good, does it?
If you felt good, I would be even more horrified.
Oh my god. What?
Make it look as if you're just the victim, and I find out that isn't the case. Really makes me question who you are. Just look in the mirror, do you know what I mean?
Ooh, that's her persona that she has online.
It's really intense today, and I'm sorry.
Oh, fuck that shit. Please just forget about it. Love you.
Oh my god, is Kwame ever going to tell her?
To this location. Don't tell her, she won't notice.
Oh, Kwame.
Right, well, I'm gonna go back watching TV.
Oh my gosh, I love her friend.
So, right. See you well, mate.
Thanks, man.
Ben! That's his name. I love Ben.
You sure you want to do this?
Wow, Terry really is her ride or die girl, I will say. Like, she has been there for every little step of her self-care journey.
This is the long walk.
Oh, she's going back to the club.
What are we doing?
Yes.
Alright, and some post-show thoughts. Wow, I felt like this episode specifically is so timely in the age and era of social media and social justice movements. It's an interesting thing when social media initially is kind of used as this great way to connect with people, but I think it becomes a very dicey situation when the person who is kind of at the center of it suddenly gets hoisted up to this pedestal, and especially when that person becomes this poster child of being symbolic, being a hero of some sort of movement in a way. I feel like that idea in and of itself is dicey because not only does that person then feel the pressure to be the hero, the savior to all the people that follow him or her, as we saw was the case with Arabella, but that person then holds themselves to an impossible standard to the point where, as we saw in this episode, Arabella felt this like huge responsibility and burden to like call out every single problematic thing that she saw on the internet or in her day-to-day life. And while yes, it is important to identify when something is bad, when something is wrong, it's important to use your public platform for good and to advocate for important issues. At the same time, you can't expect anyone to carry the weight of all of that. Like, it's impossible. And I think it's also worth noting too, whoever is in that position, they need to understand that they can't fight every single person's battle. As much as they want to help out other people, they can't take on the weight of that. Like, that is just so stressful for anyone to fathom. So I feel like that's what we kind of saw here in the early part of the episode. We see how it's legitimately affecting Arabella's health. I just think like, wow, this episode, the writing in particular, like the topic is it's so modern, and I feel like for me there's like two particular people I'm thinking of who are like have quite a following on social media, and I'm not gonna name who they are, but I feel like I'm not even like huge stans of these people, but I do sometimes worry for them because I feel like they're always consistently engaging in these like Twitter wars and fights to the point where I'm kind of like, I don't know, like, don't you get tired of it? Like, that's just so much negativity to constantly be fighting back at. It's kind of that idea of like, you need to pick and choose your battles. I don't know how these big social media people do it. And then also, I mean, obviously, the confrontation between her and Kwame, again, gray area. Because yes, while what Kwame did was wrong, kind of like we talked about in the earlier episode, about how he should have been upfront with that girl and saying like, this is where I am in my sexual journey. I mean, by the end of it, he said that he was gay, but like at that point he was kind of like willing to try what it was like to be with the girl. But clearly in this episode, he understands like that wasn't right either. And I just feel like at that point, Arabella, you can see that your friend understands like what he did was wrong. So instead of just like constantly pounding him over the head that like what you did was wrong, like I think as a friend there comes a point where you need to also be like supportive, because clearly you can tell that he is not telling you something, and perhaps the reason why he's not telling you something is because you just have like the persona of who she is online. He can't engage with that person because that's not who he's friends with. He's friends with like the real Arabella, not this like social media persona she now has where she can do no wrong. Alright, my question for you guys is, I kind of alluded to this during the reaction portion, but I would genuinely like to know, would you be able to be friends with someone like an Arabella who like has this big online social media following presence, and her thing is that she's kind of like a hero of social media in a way because, you know, she stood up to her rapists and she speaks vocally about really important issues, but she's like doing that all the time and she's consistently calling people out on the internet. Like, would you be able to be friends with someone like that? Because I, again, like I said during the reaction portion, I feel like I personally would not. As admirable as it is to see a person who has that quality of like really sticking up for what's right and not being afraid to call something out, I feel like to be around someone like that 24/7 who does it all the time, they're consistently engaging in the social media of it all, and then on top of that, they in real life also act as if like they can do no wrong either. Like that's a lot. I feel like in a way that's kind of like what the internet right now is in general. It's like there is no room for gray. It's like everything is very clear cut, black or white, right or wrong. And there's definitely issues that it's like clearly right, clearly wrong, but there's also a lot of gray too. And I feel like internet culture kind of has us believing that there's not a lot of gray when there really is. So I'd like to know, would you be able to be friends with someone like an Arabella in real life? Because I feel like I wouldn't. That'd just be too draining to be around someone like that. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Alright, well that's about it for this video. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please turn on a notification button down below so you know when a new video from me comes out. And comment down below your thoughts on this particular episode. I'm gonna plug my podcast now. It's a podcast called Diva Dailies. It's a podcast where we deconstruct divas on film and TV. It's a fun podcast. It's a nice, lighthearted, fun exploration into the divas and their filmography. So if you think that's something up your alley, worth kind of listening to, especially to take your mind off of like the shithole that is the world right now, definitely recommend you check it out because it's a fun one. Alright, well that's all I have to say for this video. As always, everything I said was just my own personal thoughts and all my humble opinion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!